years ago, I mean, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, Richard Sanderill introduced you to Sacred Grounds and had you come, and ever since then, you've been a great supporter of the venue and reading tremendously wonderful works, and really you encourage others and you network and you know you're a poet's poet. You're friendly, respectable, respected, and you offer those same things to everyone. It's a good you have a good quality about you, and it's great to have you in a community like this. You're a real supporter and a powerhouse. Full voice to close out this series for the year. Like I said, we come back on January 10th. She's going to show us her newest book, her debut book. I think she's going to read some of the things from that. That's what happens when you live on Haight Street. She says she began writing in 2014 and has been published in the Haight-Ashbury Literary Journal and the 2018 Sacred Grounds Anthology, as well as the Poetry Express newsletter in London, issues 68, 69, and 70. And I like to say that many of her poems reflect humanity's spiritual connections to divine consciousness and to one another. Her stream of consciousness style of verse and wordplay shares her personal stories and other reflections that stimulate our own memories, which cause them to rise, and we reflect upon what she is saying and what's coming up in our minds in response to that. It's a real talent. She's a native San Franciscan of Maltese descent and appreciates this community, and we appreciate her. And we're here together in a beautiful, beautiful symphony of words.
Thank you, Sacred Grounds Poetry Community in San Francisco, the longest running open mic in the city since 1971, offering awesome poetry every week. Many of the poems in this collection are my responses to prompts generated here. So I just really appreciate this community so much. And sorry. And that's it. So that's not quite it, but I just wanted to share that too. So I'm going to read a few poems, like about 10 poems from the book, and then some more new, more recent stuff. And I'm going to start off with page 1, which is In Cahoots with Divine Will. I made lunch for you today in a brown paper bag. It looks like a poem nourishing your day, telling of final, vibrant years tethered to hookups between egocentric men and my own egoic needs. Integrity ever whole, missing nothing, like the moon's form completed by parts unseen. Joy unequivocal to spirit. Fear and worry bring me down, living this grand illusion that all are separate. Perfect silence fills the void, bone arrow, sparkling rod, fingertip connectors misfired to an intentional collective, each affecting the other, offering up light. As the dark within disperses, I take my pleasure. In gratitude, I am spirit, flickering, congealed with you. As both teacher and student, trusting in life's curriculum. 1,000,000 skies away. Last night, 2 great horned owls flew back and forth, testing my tracking skills, listening to their hoots in the same park every day for years. I'm learning nature's cycles, a new and pure perspective to grieve in various stages, trees letting go their leaves, baby birds fly away. One may be taken as a meal. Cycles continue on to next season when a fresh batch of new shows up for view. Nature can never be as harsh as what humankind can grieve. Soaking in mineral baths, the smell of rotten eggs rises up to sorrow, devastation, death, dismemberment. Modern day savagery inflicted on innocence while helpless world looks on. Another layer of evil crossbarred in the news, headed straight for the Holy Land. Victims turned oppressor group. like the great horned owls overlook, calling into the night. This is war, he says, but is that reason enough to side with other than life? And now I'm going to move into a section of the book that it's actually there's three sections, but there's the middle section that talks a lot about the people, homeless people, and people that I know in here in the Haight, and just more city stuff. So this is Rocky. So dirty, always in dark clothes, fighting with voices, sitting on a green bench in the park, cushioned by the sleeping bag I gave him last winter, always walking or sitting. Sometimes by the trash cans he stands, almost invisible like one of the trees. Eucalyptus shade filters through cobalt skies over blocks of green expanse. Rocky disappears into the day, twice invisible. Sunset's wide grin. Ocean beach at dusk, white foam crawls cold, my bare feet here, the end is near. Sinking sand washes back over toes under waves. Ocean sees the long view. She laps herself further out, touches the hem of a rose-colored sky, enhanced by fire fermentation. Setting sun at dusk, faith and hope are challenged. I watch and wait, no bigger than a minute, before artist's brush dips clean from blue-green, drips red like blood. Shark senses me there, the sequel standing close to shore. At dusk, it's hard to see. Light confesses dark too soon. Wide tooth heads my way. He does not confide in me. And in memory of the actor, this is when I went to see him in that, I think it was the Edward Albee, the zoo at the Tenderloin Museum. Walking to the actor's play, spiritual intersection within my heart, watching breath expel loneliness. The Hunger Games are real in the Tenderloin. They call the very poor working class. Tell me, sunshine, your whole planet perforated, working girls climb night skies burning from the hip. I invisibly move through street corners. Men gather, radio singing familiar blues. I glimmer faintly. Young man calls to me, "Yo, mama." After the song, the smell of sawdust lingers after the blade sings. Scorched wood hangs inside treetops like a campfire, even on this city street. Windswept. Blowing hard, my head destabilizes after I take a toke of my pipe. Wind settles down to a whisper. God's greens float or bob like a bobblehead of baseball fame on the dashboard of a long car. But the wind today greeted us with such fervor. Our hair whipped about our faces, just a bit of cold on bare arms. Outside on the street talking to Violetta, brown goddess in turquoise jewels, living rent controlled for 1,000,000 years. Ah, so did Shauna make it here yet? Because this one's for my daughter, Shauna. She was in the car and called me. I guess she's not here. So anyway, this is Dancer's Flight. Bare but not naked. Red lips greet solemn face, deliberate flight in trance. Her delicate chin rests on another's arm, one shin pressed against her calf. braced knee pushed by her thigh, until they twist, spinning velocity, fly in tandem. Red and yellow flowers grow from her torso, hover in redundant beauty. Mid-air leap, arms flung wide, lavish, voluntary voyagers delineated against harsh, bright lights, voluptuous, vulnerable, vigorous, turned vaporous. Both dancers appear in mirrored walls, audience and light crew and background, all captured in a Kodachrome click. To my white bros, we all grew up racist, systematic, sugar-coated racism. My heartfelt capitalistic slant, I have mine, go get yours, hop to it with my foot on your back. We presume white trumps black, all the while ebony pulls the shades down, drowning out the light, refracted illusions blasted, interior worlds swirled about, every planet's progression through time, our tiny lives as creative forces, no bigger than a minute is all we ever are. Strong, beautiful, vibrant black, rosy pink, or ensuing shades of tan, inconsequential to life, blood flows the same for everyone. Stop the unruly perpetration, tell the truth. We all grew up racist. America's founders were cruel. Now we atone, collaborate, facilitate, give a boost, go to bat, concede to esteem our every kin's skin, humans respected for merits deserved or not, dismantled to the bone, historical petty positions, another lie, hiding systematic racism, creating conditions whereby a segment of our populace is prevented from building wealth for centuries, all the while defining success by its subsequent pursuit of happiness by money's determining factor. Will we, my white brethren, choose diversity, equity, inclusion, acceptance to empowerment to keep America's promises true? And uncertainty. Willow petals glitter, sunlight reflects the day, summer breeze flips coins, heads or tails. Treetops shimmer at the highest spot above the heat. We do not look up. A man in the street is screaming, calling everyone he sees an asshole. Another man yells to him with no uncertainty, "Get off meth, bro." Summer ends, it's gone too soon. Autumn next in line to gather precious minutes shared in common, our daily dose of life. Heart and lungs intrinsically joined, blood and breath tied together by language, recalling this fraction of time when we are here together, rotating between birth to death, coming home to humans, humanity united. Not the loneliest number, but full and whole, present to each other in no uncertainty. And then I had this, I'm just going to do this one last one from the book because I like it. It's called Courting Feathers Caught in a Whirl. I only want transparency, soft caresses on my cheek plucked from tradition, filled with promise, good fortune in the plume, scribbling of old, scratching paper. Certain things you just don't say, like, I love you to your neighbors or strangers. No one wants to hear Christmas colors meshed in the Easter time of revival. Pastels gone overboard in deep blues brushed against brown and gray and white feathers, the flounce of it touching ground, holding court, singing a holy mantra under the covers where warmth settles at night. She loves me, pluck, he loves me not. Bare birds blunder about, dry leaves gather. I swim with death, feeling overwhelmed, coming up for air. I needed all your words today, this Easter time of revival, collecting sweets and the remembering of Lord Jesus, so close to God, the space between is lost. Save for the swoosh of the air, born where he is risen, whirling wheels gather to multiplicity, stopped and static, Listening loud, you're on your own, getting over petty illusions of exclusion. Whirling gatherings filled in with tiny white daisies, clues dripping down in staglamites under the concrete bridge in the park. Reading the Tarot so that we do not talk about you and I in this season of passion fruit's decline. So I think I'm about halfway through, but so I thought I'd read a few.
8 minutes.
Okay, good. You can stop me anytime here, but because I didn't put a timer on. But I'm gonna read a few newer ones. And I'm gonna follow up that one with this one because it has kind of the same feeling to it. It's called Easter in November. Celebrating life, a vase of lilies in the window, ornate like Christmas trees, lit in white for neighbors to see. Falling in love with life really hard, reflections in my rings given by one who stayed a while, invited into my chosen home, my body adorned with his gifts, offers separation placed on an altar, using no eyes to see, no food, no fonts, just intuition, my best hope behind the words to know what presence brings, how it unfolds. Poems can take you there, thoughts like clouds, large or small or not at all, only spaciousness wide, just under heaven, close enough to earth, an aha moment. In some languages, sky and heaven are the same word, unlimited, like us. Silent elders. Electrifying leaves glitter afternoon light in the wind on the avenue, separating comings and goings. Patience melts my weight as I turn to see leaves breathing. Gnarled manzanita, cousin to Methuselah, 4,855-year-old tree standing alone, electrifying trees and rocks for 1,000 blocks while we think we are the only ones who live. This is a little something I just wrote. It's called Mountain Pose. Feeling guilty for all I have not forgiven myself for, yet only illusions require forgiveness. Truth needs it not. To sense consciousness, a grand inner frequency, to be within the moon, looking out from the inside. Short. In the poetry deal, a film about Diane de Prima, she said the first stanza. A poem can be anything. A blank piece of paper can go anywhere. We didn't talk much, just looked in the fire together. Remember, you can have what you ask for, so stand in the wind and ask for everything, held in the shadow of a breeze quivering on the sidewalk. Cherry blossoms turned late summer, red brick stairs to the stoop we used to sit on from where you fell and didn't come back. Drums beat into a cool sunset winding down your life. Arms float up, swirling like smoke, extended to perimeter, the currency of cosmos. A mailman ran over an old dog by accident. Death and I fit into the magnitude of the sky. Inert particles, micrometeorites, timeless quasi-crystals formed in nature and in space, somehow dropped on Mexico and Iran. The way to brave things. Ghosts wait all year, fooling with too many Friday the 13th to overthrow any happy birthdays. Beyond some common patch of sunlight, past the heavy veil, coming back from where we came, October settles in mid-month. Don't look back or take it slow. The taste of summer vanished, like all that mattered was our invincibility, recalling sparkling bays and bayous, arranged in degrees of fate, leading into night rains, hitting street light reflections, green light, red light, blurred in sight. October is the best month. It's the last time you see sweater weather without the threat of snow, hibernation just begging to take hold, longing to gather round ancient tales revamped in caves, stirring the pot of toil and trouble, merging sweets in goblins' eyes, not the beneficent ones, but electrifying, glittery eyes, falling inevitably to the way of brave things, whether I lived or not. Routinely wrote, this is, I think, one of David's prompts. Routine in ruin, rote reptiles moving silently through dark forests filled with marvelous ideas, space without form, no place in time. After years of living in the context of unlovability, deep craters, dented faces, penetrating eyes, hatching space for what's to come. I am lovable in this dark place, snakes say to Komodo dragons, geckos, pythons, and cobras, shaded corridors, cool circumferences wrapped in opposition to alien monsters within, realigned content, a new backdrop, love warriors, slithering, unconquerable, swirling energies, creation's muse, surround scaly armies of rote reptiles in a new paradigm, embracing the cosmos as they pray for inner peace. Sweet smelling lizards, unctuous and profound, a kiss given to they that shine consistent, leaning into compromise, past control. I think that might be it, right?
About 30 seconds.
Okay, one tiny one. Holy instance. I wasn't seeing the copper when I reminded myself to remember God, and a shiny silver dime appeared. My dog sniffed up the knoll where a young man stood wearing a long black coat. I didn't go further before begging his pardon. He called out to me, "Happy St. Patrick's Day." I told him the same and that I had no green to wear. Looking down, he pointed, grinning, "You're standing on it, God's green earth. Peace be with you, sister." I walk past young nerdy students falling in love, stylish, gender fluid, black tights, patent leather shoes with trendy bag nods at me. Flashy rocker struts her fabulous form. Laughing Asian lady waves. Kids' soccer practice is over, and we all go home except him.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank
Unmute,
you
ladies
so
and
much.
gentlemen.
I remember when
Congratulations.
I remember when you first came
Congratulations.
to
Fantastic.
Great
That
job.
was
Good job.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
Oh, I
guys.
gotta send my little chat message.
I remember when you
Thank
came to Sacred Ground, Antoinette, and how quickly your poetry just took off. You started leaving out articles and stuff, and you just telescoped it shorter, and boom, it took off.
Yeah,
Right, right.
I think
Yeah.
I've grown a lot over those last 7-8 years. So thank you so much.
Yes.
I
Thank
love all you guys.
you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Mm,
Thanks for
thank
letting me,
you.
verse us out of this year into the next year. That's a pretty big honor.
It is, and you carried it off so well. I remember there was a lot of applauding and a lot of nice comments in the chat. Beautiful, beautiful work. Love it. Wonderful, wonderful. Everybody's going, yep, 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 yep.